I'm Ana Santos from PT for You Portuguese Lessons Online. Welcome to one more week. And this time, if you see, for those who will see me soon in the few days that I'm recording this, it's almost Christmas again. It's Christmas 2022. For those who in the future will meet me, well, it's been a crazy, crazy month in Portugal, full of rain. You can see it in news. It's been hard, but the good news is Christmas, holidays is coming. So it's always time to to be happy and to rejoice with us meeting our families and loved ones again. So as you already know, I'm Ana Santos from PT for You, and here I am for one more video of 5 minutes of Portuguese per day, makes you smile every day. And this week is a very special week because I bring you a very, very special also detail about our language that make it so different and so exquisite, especially when you compare to other languages. Don't forget, you have my email, pt4you@outlook.pt, my Facebook, PT for You Portuguese Lessons by Ana Santos, and also all my podcasts. In my podcast, you can practice a language, and at the same time, you learn anything more precise about our language and our culture and our cities. And Por Terras de Portugal e Neste Dia. Please subscribe them, and you can check them also my YouTube channel for these videos and so many more things happening. What I bring you today is a very, very small detail, like I told you, and this is a very special Portuguese way of thinking. This has no comparison, and of course with English, but even if you think about similar languages to Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian, there's no similarity to this. So this is a really, really special detail that makes our language quite unique. It's what you call it the personal infinitive. So you know the infinitive, to be, to sing, to go, to walk. But this is a personal infinitive that is a little more intense when it comes to meaning, and we use it, believe me, it's not something that is very rare, or it's, oh, we don't need to learn that because it's something that we'll never look at it. It's not true. Even when talking, even when reading, it crosses our minds a lot. It's not hard to understand. The only trick here is to understand this will be like summit called with some particular words, and there are usually it will be with the practicing. Not today is only the explanation. That is the idea. Let's call it, like some students of mine already call it, magnet words. So every time you see this word, you know that will be after that this infinitive form. Let's give some idea. So as I was telling you, the impersonal infinitive is the concept, the abstract form of the verb. It's not conjugated whatsoever. To sing, to eat, to ask is the examples I have here. And then this idea of personal infinitive is a verb used in combination with a personal pronoun, and is not conjugated, but retains the infinitive form. Let's see some examples. So, yeah, and when it happens to the subject, there's no subject when it comes to the impersonal infinitive. When it comes to the personal one, yes, it's clearly known and expressed. So we know that whom we are referring with. And here is the concept of infinitivo pessoal. So first, the bending. It's super easy, as you see. Especially the idea is you have the infinitive form inside, and then in some cases, what happens is, as usual, that you already know, we add things. So as you see, you have the R. The R in all the verbs is the ending, is the last letter of all the infinitive form. And then we add in the tu, in the nós, and in vocês, eles, elas, some more things. As you see, the eu in the vocês stays the same. So you have res, mus, irem. Let's see here some examples. Imagine the verb comer, for instance. Comer, comeres, comer. Comermos, comerem. And this per se doesn't say anything because, as I told you before, we need some magnets, some words that attracts and call for this exception. So for this situation specific. Knowing that the bending is this, I'll give you some of these expressions that are way common in Portuguese. What do you have here? Let me give you the idea. So this idea, it's So in Portuguese, every time you say it's something, it's necessary, it's important, it's likely, it's good, it's better, it's necessary, it's you need. So every time that you have the English it's something, we call it the impersonal expression, then ring the bell, it will need to be the infinitive form. That's why you have here some expression. It's important I speak about this. It's important for me to speak about this. So it's important for me to speak. So see this idea? It's me, but I speak. É importante eu falar sobre isto. And now with the to form. It's necessary, é necessário, tu preparares a lição. It's necessary you to be ready for the lesson. It's likely, it's more likely, é provável ele dizer quando vens. Likely he would tell when you come. It's good when you're together. It's good for us to be together. É bom nós estarmos juntos. É melhor. It's better. É melhor eles ficarem juntos. See the bending? E finalmente, é preciso. It's necessary. It's mandatory. We need them to fill this form. So we need them, but to fill. So it's always this idea. So every time you have this expression starting with e in English, it's start to realize that will always come this bending of the verb. Some other expressions when some other words. The word ao, that is the idea by doing something. This expression by doing, it's with the word ao, para, in order to, antes de, and this, the opposite, depois de, before and after, apesar de, in spite of, and without something, but not without sugar, without doing, without working, without something. So it's always connected to an action. Let's see some examples. Ao deixarem a casa, eles ficaram tristes. By leaving their house, they were very sad. Para celebrares, tens de trabalhar. To celebrate, you have to work. Before we talk about it, we need to hear. So before, we need to. Apesar de irmos dormir, queremos ver o filme. In spite of going to sleep, we want to see the movie. Always a good dilemma in the night. Sem estudares, não terminas isto. Without you studying, you won't finish. Depois de terminarem, podem sair. After you finish, you can go. So the bending, again, and by repetition, is not hard. It just if you see here, and good news for you, there's absolutely no exceptions when it comes to the irregular, to the normal verbs, no exceptions whatsoever. So there's nothing to know more about this except this. The only thing, the tricky part, is those words that will call and summit this conjugation. So it's the first is the idea to know, to understand the logic, and then with the practice, because practice makes perfection, don't forget about it. You can insist and working, try to make lots of sentences with these expressions. Some others also exist. If you want to know a little bit more about it, please send me an SMS, a mail, and I will for sure answer you back. And at the same time, I can send you some exercises. Why not to do about this? So, well, after this, don't forget, learning is like rowing upstream. Not to advance is to drop back, because it's always keeping you focusing, keep you focused on learning, on having fun, especially. So meanwhile, ho, 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 Merry Christmas also for you. But